Good morning. In our second of the series on intelligence, I just noticed that Doc could change the wallpaper back here. These are his. This one is called something about I never could stay within the lines. That one over there is called I'm not bipolar and neither am I. This one I called the vortex. That's not his name, but it's called the Westward Ho vortex.
We're not supposed to be mentioning names.
Yeah.
Really?
He has this fear of people ever knowing who he is. That might be another of his problems. He's too modest. He doesn't want anyone to know his name or where he lives. But anyway, I was thinking about in our first series.
You pretty much blown that cover a long time ago.
Yes, I have.
Yes.
So here is a fellow over here who could never stay within the lines. Doesn't that characterize sort of intelligence? They're always trying to get out of the lines.
Not necessarily, because usually we have things called prisons,
Yeah.
insane asylums.
Yes. But anyway, I think that both of us religion had a big, well, maybe it was sort of an imprisoning factor in our lives. I was raised in Mormon, Utah, which I don't know if everyone knows this or not, but it is very, very Mormon and pretty much dominated, as no other state is, by just one religion. So, and he was raised in a Lutheran community and went to Lutheran schools, which his parents didn't want him to go to public school. Were they afraid of public school, or maybe they were afraid he would get out of hand? Maybe that was that the reason why they didn't want you to go to public school? You think? Because you'd get out of the lines?
I was born with a dog collar, you understand? They had a leash.
Yeah. Oh, they considered children should be on a tight leash. And so he had church 6 days a week.
Why are you?
Well, I'm just trying to say.
You know, this witness protection program is just shot to hell. That's all there is to it.
Oh, well.
Well, thank goodness nobody ever looks at these things.
He's paranoid. But I'm not that paranoid because I realized a long time ago that I had to leave Utah if I was ever going to get out of the lines, get out of the box. And I wanted to go be a playwright. I wanted to be a writer of the world, not of just as approved by the Mormon church. Because when you get a church that even doesn't like their members to read anything, except pertaining to school, of course, absolutely, except Mormon books published by Mormon publishers. No, I said, But when you're born and raised in a society like this, where people know you very well and they should be able to appreciate your intelligence, if anybody's going to, and you have to leave, say like I think I left when I was 30 years old. Well, you have to transplant yourself to a new place, and they don't
You left
understand
where when you were 30 years old?
Utah, for good. You know, I moved. I never went
You
back.
spent 30 years in Utah?
More or less, yes. It took me that long to. Well, you know, Utah. I was raised in southern Utah, one of the most beautiful places on earth. I just didn't think I could leave those canyons and the mountains. I just had a very hard time leaving the beautiful.
Did you guys eat horse meat up there or anything like that?
No, we didn't. We rode horses now, and I love the horses,
Well,
but
suppose a horse dies, don't you eat it?
no.
Yeah.
We wouldn't eat a beloved
I guess the
companion.
dogs. Well, no, wait a minute. You told me you had a pig, and you named it.
Yes, well, yeah, and then we had a lamb.
Come on, and then what happened?
And then it was killed, and we were supposed to
What,
eat
you
it.
hit
But
by-
I didn't. I
Did you
couldn't
get
eat
hit by
it.
a runaway horse or something like that?
I couldn't. Today I'm a vegetarian. I don't eat meat because it bothered me so much to eat my pets.
Right, there you go. See?
I say
Well, now,
they were
Your horse
chomping
is
down
a
on
pet.
my pet lamb, and I said, "I'm not eating black woolly."
You know what Roy
This
Rogers-
was when I was
when Roy
there.
Rogers stuffed Trigger, remember that one? And Dale Evans says, Roy, when I die, don't even think about it.
Well, and
He didn't eat Trigger, but he had
everybody
his
laughed
stuff.
at me because I wouldn't eat. I refused to eat black woolly, and I begged my dad not to kill him. Please don't kill black woolly. And well, we can't keep a lamb, and we can't let a lamb, grow old. Nobody ever heard of such a thing. Or a pig. They were bred for eating. Well, this was all pretty traumatic. And this is how I, got my dad rather upset, because I started objecting to the slaughter of the animals. And here he was, a cattle rancher. I remember the first time I gave up eating meat, I was living on his cattle ranch, which was kind of a message to him. And he didn't believe that anybody could even survive without eating meat. So, I just... And what about you? I'm sure you were doing things to confound your parents who found you difficult to raise, right?
Wrong.
No? Oh, you were a perfect child?
I was an only child after my brother died, okay?
Yes.
So I had no brothers and sisters, or you can call them siblings, to blame anything on. If something went wrong around the house, this got broken or that got, I learned very quickly that, guess what? Let's see, I wonder who did it. Let me think, yes. Mother, did you break that? No, I didn't break it, Frank. Well, see, I didn't break it. Let's see who else lives here. Okay. Son, did you break that? The dog broke it.
Oh, you poor thing, all you had to blame it on the dog.
It didn't work very often, considering the dog lived outside in the doghouse. Got any more questions that you really need to ask?
Oh, yeah.
No, I wasn't that typical. I was a straight A student.
Tell why
I was a straight
would
A
ever
student.
paint.
I was the head of the class. I was back, whatever they call it.
Hey, what was that experience in school where they put you in a room because you asked too many questions?
That's right.
What?
Well, that was when it was going to be the valedictorian of the class, and the teacher gave me this long speech to memorize. So, for, I don't know, half the day I spent in the other room painting and memorizing this speech. Well, the boy asked too many questions, so I'm just going to make him valedictorian and stick him in the other room for a while.
So see, he was already
Well,
getting out of the lines.
The other kids used to get to visit me once in a while.
I really related to this picture
Yeah.
because I remember feeling a lot of resistance to painting within the lines myself. Not to the extent that he did, but he's still painting outside the lines. So,